Working with the CGP color wheels is pretty straightforward. Now, we did sort of model them or take influence from the Capture One color wheels. We made them a little bit different, but we really like the way Capture One's color wheels worked. I personally have been using Capture One for over a decade, and it just worked. I mean, color wheels are color wheels, but we felt that that interface made sense. They're pretty straightforward. You don't even have to click a button to get started. You just start grading. So let's play with the shadows, and we start clicking like a purple. There you go. It already creates the folder on the layers window, which is kind of the party piece of CGP. Everything we do, let's put some, I don't know, oranges in the midtones, highlights maybe in the green. Now, right now I have it on heavy, which is the intensity settings down here. So we can put it on normal, which is a little less intense, but the same colors, right? Same intensity of the color wheels, but we just ramp up how much they are, and then light as well. Obviously, normal is the normal. It's the default you should start with, or that most people will want to start with. Now, like Capture One, but also other pieces of software, these three wheels, midtones, shadows, and highlights, also can be zoomed in, right? So if you click on the highs tab, now we have the highlights, but bigger. And that allows us to make more granular changes, right? So yeah, we can pull on this main circle right here, this main little node inside the circle, but we can also just take up the intensity on this arc. And we can brighten that arc, right? That's going to brighten oh, I took the color all the way down. Didn't mean to. There we go. And I can also darken the highlights if I want, or brighten them back up. See that? And of course, when I go back to the three-way view, that's reflected in the highlights, all the changes that I did. Naturally, midtones is the same way. You can zoom in and you can make more granular changes. And of course, you can zoom in on shadows and do all that as well. So the wheels are pretty straightforward, but they blend in really, really nice. We have on the other videos where we talk about how or why the color wheels work so well. And that's our curves calculations, which are all inside the CGP folder. They're all here. Everything is calculated based on what you do. These calculations we worked very, very hard on to make sure that no matter what we do, everything looks solid. So even on heavy with lots of grading, it's a super smooth grade. It just kind of transforms your image without weird banding or any type of other mess. Now, I'm going to leave it on high for this visual because we also have the luminosity ranges down here. So right now, shadows, mids, and highlights is sort of split up like this. So you can see the shadows is this black part of the bar that's black, excuse me. The midtones is gray, and of course the highlights is white. So if I want to take those pinks that I have in the shadows and bring them more into the mid-range, then I can pull this one to the right about to the middle roughly. And now that pink is really into the mid-range. Or I can take it back down further away from mids and more into the lowest luminosity range, right? All that again, calculated, let me just open that up, calculated with color wheels on the RGB curves, right? That way we don't have any weird, like I said, strange transitions or any type of luminosity mass that get funny looking or unpredictable. And here again, so I have a real bright highlight. I can move it more into the mids and move it away into the very, very high. Midtones is sort of by default, whatever's left over. So I can put these all the way in, and now my midtones orange is very narrow, but it doesn't create a band. It doesn't create a band. No matter how strong I make it, it doesn't create a band. Again, that's because of the curves calculation. So I can play until I dial something in that I really want. And don't get me wrong, no matter where you are, if you're on the mid-tone zoom area, you still have access to your luminosity ranges down here. And if you're on the shadows area, you can still change to normal at any moment, right? All these things are available to you on three-way, highs, mids, and shadows, all these tabs. So the color wheels are pretty straightforward. And all these changes that you're doing while you're playing are also going to be accessible to you with the history button. So you have a back button here and the forward button, which is, not available right now because we haven't gone backwards. But if I go back, it's going to step back through all the changes that I've done while playing, with different looks. And I can also step forward again and go back through the ones I did before. This is just in case you're like, I've tried a couple of things, but I really like what I had a minute ago. Let me go back. So that history state is just a little something extra there for you so you can make sure that you can not miss something, right? And also at the top left of the panel, a little button will appear, a little arrow inside a circle. That's a reset button. You can reset the color wheels at any given moment. Don't forget, the arcs for the brightness of each one are also available without a hue. So if I go to the shadows and darken them, It's literally darkening the shadows without any color grading. No color added. Highlights I can brighten. It's a type of contrast boost, if you will, if you want to use it that way. So don't forget that. Definitely available. All these nodes can be double clicked to reset individual nodes. So if I have that color grade there, double click the node, it resets. Reset everything is right here. So again, that's how the color wheels work. They're straight and easy for the user. It always exists right here on the layers window, so you can keep doing other things, add other adjustment layers, keep your workflow going, whatever you want to do, you can always come back to it at any moment, make changes live on the fly. Very, very useful. Again, the key is the way it calculates all of the curves, which is what CGP does for you. The idea is you get a beautiful, easy interface to explore your creativity, and CGP handles all the math.